I don't know. It definitely becomes a bit of a tough one to call. But overall, heading in towards Anubis, I think the advantage still lies with Big. I still feel like they're the side who have maybe ever so slightly the favor. And of course, the confidence coming off the back of their map pick Vertigo, I think, will really help things out. But I think we're about to get on the way in towards our decider. It's Anubis coming up next. Winner, of course, continuing in that upper bracket. Loser dropping into the lower bracket. Some scary teams to beat them down. They're Big, starting on the T side.
Yeah, pretty good luck for them. We'll see. They have had decent success with the pistols, and it would be very nice here to get things kicked off. Nice looking map, this one, in CS2, especially with all the water everywhere. Water does look a lot better in CS2, it has to be said. Either way, what is the game plan here? A slow walkout middle seems to be what Big are going for.
Re-smoke in towards connector. tabseN gonna wrap through now. There's a nice little split to come through. Nice opening kill. Spellen will find the first, but will be doing for the trade as he will fall, may I say. Skrimo flanking his way forward. Spotting one. A really janky fight for him, but he falls into all the dangers. Hybrid replaying some space. Now, actually, Bigger in trouble.
They are indeed. It has hit the fan, so to speak. They don't really have as much control as they were after. Nice pickup from prosus, and he is hunting for a bit more. Shake finds him, however. Just going to be down to Sin then. No armor for him to speak of. Tags that player out to 1 HP. That is certainly unfortunate. Trying to play in and around the pillar here. Can't find the heads. Hybrid gets him eventually as he is caught distracted. And there you have it. Chosen few will find themselves the pistol to kick things off on Anubis.
Yeah, good start as well. I think they kind of needed that just for their own reassurance. Like we said, with the tail end of how Vertigo was, it can put you in a little bit of an awkward space thinking, we let this one slip, and that really wasn't exactly what we would have hoped for them. So I think it's important. On the start for them, of course, no bomb plant for Big 2. Pretty important in the sense that it is going to leave them in a little bit of a weird position. No rebuy to come through, kind of as expected. Oh, yeah. Chosen few, basically a bit of a free run, you'd think, to finding second on the board, but maybe easier said than done. tabseN gonna find the first.
Just about. Skrimo trading things back, however. tabseN keeps going. He's got an MP9 now. And they've got to watch out. Overwhelm eventually comes in on towards Skrimo, and that A bomb site has now been dropped, but they don't quite recognize that on the Big side of things. Also, maybe not wanting to fully send it in there. Just take a reset, take a moment. This could get a bit weird. Push round coming through from the remaining 2 chosen few players. They're going to catch one in the back. Yeah, I think they were ready for a flank and not expecting both of these guys to be together.
Been away here. Probably going to fall. So actually, probably a little bit more expensive. Maybe the chosen few would have wanted, but overall, we're going to see ourselves now in towards what about a little position. We find ourselves again question marks about maybe what a Big response is going to look like. We don't really know what the T-SAR's looking like, generally speaking, but I think there's a lot of positives to be taken away in the sense that their pistol round looked clean until they got caught overextending. They at least have executes, not just coming in and trying to take raw aim jewels here. It's always a good sign. It shows that they've got at least some sort of preparation in towards the game itself. Let's see. At least right now, chosen few, nothing to worry about. They have a decent full buy of their own.
Just spamming away at the moment through smokes, right? This is fairly conventional early round Anubis. I think certainly one of the maps that feels a little better for CS2, right? I don't really think there were many skyboxes coming into this map anyway when it came out in Go. So perhaps a map that was designed by Valve with CS2 in mind.
Yeah, well, it wasn't designed by Valve, yeah.
Oh, nice find. 4 versus 4 coming round for the side of the chosen few to work with.
prosus. You'd get caught off guard, or he'll do the one catching. Nice little double. Hybrid and Shake down they fall. Spellen's all that's left in terms of the defensive unit, but that B site completely barren. That'll be that. I don't really see a world in which he can find the round, but he might be able to find it, make it expensive at the release. With prosus and Krimbo pretty low, can play on the side of exit to maybe make something work. Again, not exactly the easiest ask. But at least right now, Big needed an opening round from them. Spellen might get caught back turned, and will. Prosus is going to find yet another kill. Good round from him. Individually, 3 kills to his name. That'll be Big finding there first. That's what it's all about. Relatively simple, relatively effective. And we find ourselves at a pretty interesting decision for the chosen few in terms of their buy, because the finances are kind of all over the place. They go for a little bit of a lower buy and hope something works, or they're going to go for what you kind of expect, which is choose that force to come in. They were in that double eco territory anyway, so essentially, why not? It'll be that. Just a few pistols to work with. Not exactly the nicest buy for them in terms of the situation.
Yeah, they're not really going to be able to put up too much of a fight here. But again, we'll see. Things came close for Big in a similar buy to this. I think there is a challenge moving forwards. A bomb site completely open, though. We'll get that plant round here. And I feel like the chosen few will probably just save what they have, to be honest.
Yeah,
there's not really much that they can do.
Does kind of come this situation kind of a question of what's the point, really. Exit frag of any sort would be nice. Definitely not going to be the case for Spellen. He gets caught back turned. So, yeah, the pistols are actually themselves being hunted here. Maybe a bit of a weird call in the sense that for Big, you're thinking, is there a need? There really isn't too much on the other side, but I guess because this is a forced buy, it is going to have a knock-on effect. Nobody being given the luxury of a save here. Hyper going to find one. Any more concentration kills would be nice, but it is just the one. We do find ourselves at a pretty nice position for Big. They've tied it up to a piece. They've once again broken the economy of the chosen few, so a third more or less should come in tow. Looking pretty good, of course. We spoke about that kind of T-side looking good on this map, and it's been one of the few maps that is feeling T-sided. Well, hey, here's exactly that.
Pushing forwards. Just trying to brute force their way through the A main here. Skrimo, the only one to find a frag. Not going to happen for him. Down goes Spellen in towards middle. So, looking good for Big. They get themselves a clean third round on the board.
Yeah, a bit of a throwaway there. Nothing kind of really to take away from that one all too much. But yeah, now we find ourselves once again in the position when we talk about what the chosen few's response is going to be like. Shake in towards the AWP. He was looking really good. Really was, at one point, really stepping up, especially in towards Vertigo when things are looking, yeah, a little bit shaky, but whether they can find anything of this, we'll have to weigh down and see. Warping has always been a little bit awkward in towards CS2, just that piece of advantage. They're going to come over. Hybrid waits for it. You're going to find the first as Man-2-4, so bad start for the chosen few.
Not a bad start at all. They'll continue the aggression out towards B as well, and they will continue to find frags. Apparently, not a single player going to drop on the CT side of things. Krimbo remains alone after a pretty disastrous start into the rifle buys, at the very least. So, yeah, not looking too good at all.
I think if you're Krimbo, not exactly the worst thing just to keep hold of what you've got. I do think that'll be that. So yeah, all tied square here. Krimbo is looking to at least find a fight on the way out. You're going to have money to rebuy in, so not exactly the worst thing for him at all. Just trying to find fights. He's got 35 seconds to kill here, so trying to do something with it at the very least. No one giving though. Chosen Few not going to at least face him. They're not going to find peaks. They'll probably just call it. All-tie square, 3 rounds piece. This has been kind of the storyline as well. We saw in towards that previous map at one point how close it was between these two sides. Could be exactly the same in towards this one. 3 rounds each and a flawless one for the Chosen Few to tie it up.
Counter-terrorists win.
Okay, so we'll see what the response is now from Big. I think that's sort of the big questions that we have here is whether these guys can keep up on this map, right? They proved towards the very tail end of Vertigo that, in fact, they can kind of take some control where they'd maybe been lacking control all series long. So I'm definitely curious if they can find that same sort of energy that they had at the end of Vertigo, bring it into this here on Anubis, and just kind of gain a lead of their own, something that we've not really seen them do all that often. You know, they'll maybe have a lead for like a round or whatever, and the Chosen Few are very quickly on their backs.
Oh, posted. Flash. Can't shake. Just get out of there. Catches a ledge instead. Shot from Krimbo. Catches Shake overextending. If you shake there, the idea would have been just to stay put. Through the smoke screen, we're going to find Krimbo on that trade. The nade. 2, the Krieg struggling. Libido making a double.
Nice little look. Hybrid gets a banger flash, and he will seal the deal for my money. Sin can't get anything done. So there you have the Chosen Few finding a lead. Looking good once the rifles have come out into play. Big still have some money built up, but Chosen Few are again showing why they really are not looking to be pushovers. The freshness of CS2 continues to be beneficial for the Bulgarians.
Absolutely. 4-3 right now. Back in towards a buy for Big, but the last one for a while. This one falls flat, especially without a bomb plant. They could be in a lot of trouble. And that could be what they can bring to Molotov. Good Molotov from stairs there. Nice Skrimo getting any space really in towards main, at least early doors. You see Skrimo post on the angle, the M4 waiting for a fight to be had here. Probably he'll get one in due time. As that smoke starts to fade, he could be in a little bit of trouble. Potentially could be overwhelmed too. He hasn't really got too much of support. Helen's over towards mid, but it's a fairly decently long rotate back over if that site is to fall.
Big not really presenting. They're playing quite far back at the moment, trying not to give the Chosen Few those early frags that they've been quite giddy to get. And you can see again here, right, as the nades coming round. Big are very far back, even mollying them away from their own aggression. Really quite a weird little situation. And it's not a bad idea to keep everyone alive, right? Stay in the 5v5, make sure we've got enough utility to go for a late round execute. But it does mean that you're so far back with so little map control. And I think the Chosen Few have sniffed them out here as well. Probably going to be quite ready for this A-hit.
You're right. Hybrid, Libido both taking damage. Skrimo to be the first to fall over towards the Chosen Few. Nice angle, not a nice spray there for Speller, though. Does get caught. Now they're going to start to barrel in towards this A site. Rotation comes over, and actually, quite well timed. Almost still go down.
Oh, the retake doesn't look great, does it, to be honest? They're really not able to apply very much pressure with the 3 players, all on low HP. None of them really confident to take the fight, but they're creeping in. Oh, the AWP shot misses, and it's a double for Prosus. Disaster striking. They have the money to buy, but the Chosen Few definitely throwing a few guns into the mix that perhaps they did not want to in the initial stages. Can Hybrid make it out here? No, he can't. And Big will keep things even.
For all. And a massive sigh of relief for Big as well, considering their finances were on a little bit of the edge there. In the sense if that one had fallen flat, they were in a lot of trouble. Not to be. So for all, Big A little bit of confidence back in again. That Krieg approach is looking really good. Honestly, looking like a really strong gun once again. There was definitely the question marks about its efficiency. I think in the tail end of Go, it basically was never picked. It was so rare you see a Krieg, but we've seen it now consistently across all 3 maps here, which is, again, fair play, credit. Finding that viability. Of course, the Orgs always kind of remained in and around the conversation. It's just looking really good. The SG tapping away, but it's been taking the first bits of damage.
spellN creeping in, gonna win the fight, even though Sin was ready. That's a little disastrous, isn't it? And now spellN sticks around. Looking for more as the smoke goes down. Who's going to come out on top? Oh, tabseN. It's labored. It is indeed labored, but he evens it back up.
Molly dropped. I'll deny Krimbo that space he was hoping to at least try and get. They're going to come through. Time's starting to tick now. They've got to make a decision. Looks like they're petering back towards B. I don't know how good of a call this is, though. Has to be said, time is starting to become the worst enemy here for Big. Got to make this decision. Just shy of 30 seconds now.
Grid. Nice pick up. Oh, stuck around a bit too long, though, didn't he? Gave his life away. There is still a player at the back end, but Libido can't get anything. They have to battle their way out of the A-bomb site, and that allows Big to obviously get the bomb down, but also get into some really good spots. A lot of information starved away from the Chosen Few retake, I think, is going to be a big problem. We'll see. They try to move in. No utility, no kit even, to be honest. It's really going to be a challenge here. And the big players can just play off of each other. One go on the first tap, one go on the second tap. Chosen Few maybe know this. They know they have to try and take the fights. It's not going to work out, though. Mantu picking off the first, and Skrimo, he's tapped the bomb. They know that he's not on it now. They can just play around that fact. He's going to continue to try and be a nuisance, but it just is not going to work out. So Big will take their 1-round lead.
Yeah, nice. Really nicely done. Pretty well, kind of well played as well in that post plan. It's pretty heads up in terms of the counter strike. They just know they can use it against them. Keep peeking on the angle, dropping those flashes, and just make it look so easy, so simple, so damn effective. Big going to reclaim that lead as you spoke of, and of course, once again, just have the ever so slight advantage when it comes towards confidence. I think for Big, they just seem to be playing a little bit more of a well-rounded game at the moment. Chosen Few quite rely on a few individuals to step up. And I think with spellN going a little bit quiet, they're struggling. He's kind of the big man. He's been so impactful at times over towards the side, but he isn't finding it just yet. Just the AWP for the Chosen Few. Saved by Skrimo. That's all they've got to work with.
Oh, great flash. Skrimo can't really get much done from down there. It's actually Sin. Oh, and that's a bit awkward. Maybe a leg round the corner spotted. So the AWP has been figured out and now definitely dropped as Shake tried to go a bit wild round the corner. Libido with the double dink fade away. The round itself is just not going to happen, is it? Big should have a relatively clean one and a pretty hefty lead to work with now moving into the latter stage of this first half.
Oh, bad time to pull your knife out. Bad time to pull your knife out. So, who'd have false? Big guaranteeing at least a draw at the turn of the half. With 6, with the way they're playing right now. Very good opportunity to push towards that 7-5 or even the 8-4. That is on the cards. We spoke highly of that T side on this map specifically. At the very least, starting to look not too bad. That round wasn't really going to amount to anything too much anyway, just considering it was just a solo warp. Like, this time, there's a few no warp to work with at all. Definitely going to make things tougher. And to creep it, not being in the fight. One missed shot actually cost prosus his life.
Oh, this is so awkward, man. The Molotovs are making them really, really difficult to try and find these fights, but Skrimo goes overlooked despite the flash coming in. He finds that big double kill, and that might just have done it. Mantu spotting a few edges, hearing a few steps. Great little flick down onto one, trying to get more It's tough, though. It is very tough. Molotov going to push him out into the open. He just can't get anything else done. Chosen few, making sure to keep things close, and we might be going in for another even 6-6.
Yeah, nice response. Nice response there. I think if Mantu hits that shot in towards back donut, it's a different story. And then it would really change things. But unfortunately, not the case. So, final round of the half. Both sides do have the funds to work with, but it's going to require Galil's on the side of big. Chosen few. I finally extended to make this an even half, and on the CT side, not too bad at all. Whether you call it an advantage, as thereby, wait and see. The double AK, double M4. Shane AWP looking for a fight to get to the leg. The cost of his life, but hybrid for a double. That's important. Big now left down to 3.
Looking good. Looking very good indeed. I mean, they've got a bomb to recover, so all this sort of movement and utility is not really all that useful at this stage. Still got a full belt on Krimbo, which could be nice. He was hoping that someone would get cheeky over here, but it's just not been the case. A bomb site, it seems, so now they've got a minute or so to go with. Maybe a move back towards mid, but I think they're fairly sold on the A side of things. They came a little close last time. Execute was decent. It's just the frags didn't quite come in. So they will indeed be moving back towards that. Let's see what they can get done this time.
Let's see. Again, waiting for something to pop out on towards this A site. There it is. Krimbo for the first. Skrimo might go overlooked, though. Do they put the double stack in towards back donut? Probably not. He drops the bomb, and that'll be that. The all put to good work for hybrid. 6 all. We'll see if they can continue it after the break.
Welcome back. We will be crowning a winner here in this second and final half of this series, of course. Things looking very, very good. Once again, another 6-6 finish. These two teams just can't be separated here this afternoon. And moving into the early evening, they will have to be, unfortunately. Chosen Few moving ahead. The plucky underdogs, or will it be big? Perhaps the favourites for the entire qualifier itself.
Definitely a tough one to call. I'll have to wait and see. At 6-all, pistol round could be huge. It could be massively important. Just found that early bit of form. Krimbo wanted to get an aggro. Will Hybrid and Co expect it? Yes, they do, and they find it. Those Julies, man, I'm telling you, they just don't feel the same in CS2. I don't know what it is.
Oh, Molotov pushes Sin out of position. So things looking pretty good here for the Chosen Few to work their way into the bomb site. Hybrid's got the Julies now. I'm definitely curious, right? I want someone to find like a triple kill just to prove you wrong, but I think you might be onto something, to be honest. Man2, clean headshot from him. Shake with a nice little trade back. There is one, but yeah, it feels like took a bit longer than usual, but prosus, he's on the Julies, and he knows what he's doing. Spellin comes in from the side to save the day, thank goodness. It's all on to Sin. Can't get it done as Spellin cleanly wipes him out. There goes yet another pistol for the Chosen Few.
Yeah, while the Julies feel a little shaky, overall, the Glock is a laser beam in CS2. I've been loving it. I hated using the Glock in Go, but man, in CS2 feels good. We have a little bit of tech issues, so we'll come back to the cams before we get back underway. But man, yeah, the Glock feels so good in CS2. I've been a big fan. I'm actually enjoying pistol rounds now, which is good to see. And another gun that I hate, but apparently feels good, the CZ. Apparently that's back. Apparently it's feeling good again in CS2. I've had a lot of my friends started using it. They said it feels really good. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, man.
Maybe just the 5.7's not as overpowered. Maybe
I think also that as well. The 5.7 doesn't feel as just like dominant as it was in towards Go. Honestly, really good pistol round coming through for the Chosen Few. I think for them, again, you spoke about confidence being quite a good telling factor here, and that's really important. They get a little bit under their belt. Pistol round, bomb plant, money, a buy in towards an X won't be the same over towards big as well. Of course, being in that seat to tie, you'd hope anyway. Force buying in here could be catastrophic in the long term. So I think probably the call is this next round's going to be a bit of a throwaway. Essentially going to be an 8th guaranteed over towards the Chosen Few, and then we see big go into the full buy.
Yeah, I mean, that is what you expect. That is generally where it should go. Again, though, just a really difficult game to spread out. I think it's been great to see the fact that these two teams are playing so well, so close to the wire. And again, maybe is a testament to why we've moved a little bit more into the MR12 as well. You know, this could have been a hell of a long series if we were still on 15, I suppose. Economy needs some work, but the general idea of bringing the games down, increasing the intensity of the rounds, the importance of the rounds, I definitely am behind that. And we have seen a few situations, only a few, only a small sample size, of course, but just a few like 4v3s where the 3 team is actually going for it, whereas in the past we might have seen a lot more saving in those types of situations. So I think very cool to see that these changes that have been made to CS2 are coming into play. But yeah, as you're sort of saying, this early stage of the second half is really going to be important. As always, sure, but I just feel like there is a big springboard opportunity for the T side, especially of the Chosen Few, to maybe start looking towards the finish line here.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Chosen Few right now, it's looking pretty good for them overall. They feel like they're in a good position fundamentally the way they've been playing. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Of course, generally their T sides looked a little bit cleaner in the sense that they just seem to have that, I guess the way in which they play kind of ties in quite well with how they can set a tempo and how they can choose the pace of a game. When on the CT side, they kind of succumb to the pitfalls or maybe a big a little bit. So yeah, right now I think it's really good. We've seen a few individuals really stepping up across kind of the span of the series. We still look towards Shake, the AWPer, maybe over towards the Chosen Few, what he can do individually. He's been maybe a little bit quieter in towards that first half at the very least, so having finished with like 5 kills at the tail end. But yeah, let's see what they can do. We are going to head back into the game, and it looks like the tech issue is done and dusted. We get back underway here. Round number 14, Chosen Few, of course, like we said for them. that 7th being picked up. I don't expect Big to go in towards a buy. Man's got a P250, but that'll be probably about it. Just some upgraded pistols, nothing too spicy.
Yeah, as to be expected. Maybe Mr. Mantu will find a cheeky one on the P250, but not really expecting too much. I like the mid stack though. Makes a fair bit of sense. I don't think it'll see too much action because it looks like the boys are headed towards A. Nice find for the Mac 10. Got to be careful not to go down later on in the round. They are after him. The chase is on, but they are indeed discovering that A is clear. A nice little dry run of the execute. That's totally fair enough. Sometimes we might laugh at them and say they're just sort of wasting their utility. But again, in CS2, it's nice to know that your smokes are going to land.
You got to be careful as well, right? You can't kind of, even though you know you're going to come in with a better buy. I like the kind of level of, for the Chosen Few, where it's like, let's just guarantee this. Let's not, you know, lose to an eco, essentially. That could be absolutely damning in the long term. So yeah, I like that. Not too bad overall. So the Chosen Few, of course, we find that 8 that we expected. Make sure they don't give any guns away on the tail end is what it's all about. Bomb plot, all 5 kills. As good as it gets, really. Big. As we said, that was a full eco. So we didn't really expect anything too drastic. That sort of round. Again, now we find ourselves in a very, very important round for Big. First full buy, one that is a bit of a needs must for them. They converted. Put him for 1 Hamas and a misnade to kickstart things to process.
Sin. Got to be careful with this creep around, right? There's a boost, and he's not quite expecting, but he wins the fight. This guy's a little nuts. The nade will take him out eventually, but I thought he was a goner, mate. I thought he walks around that corner and he's done for, but he knows what's up. Certainly a little low in the fragging department, but what he's finding feels kind of impactful. Krimbo for the mid control. That is so unlucky. Dink lands, can't find the kill. Okay, and that is the opposite of unlucky, I suppose. That's just a bit bad from tabseN. 4 versus 2, looking good for the Chosen Few.
Hybrid spotting one out. He gets spotted first by Mantu. Can't make it a double. Libido will trade. tabseN and Libido both so damn low here. So prosus, honestly, a real decent opportunity. Bomb on the luxury going down, and prosus made a 1 versus 1. Down to Skrimo. Find 1 kill, but prosus steps up for a huge 3K and keeps Big alive. Honestly, the Chosen Few, they played that so poorly. It's a 1 versus 3, and they give them 1 versus 1s. What are they doing?
Yeah, I don't rightly know, to be honest, mate. It looked like it was in the bag, didn't it? It looked like it was absolutely in the bag, but they have perhaps fumbled said bag. So we'll see now moving forwards what kind of an effect it does have. They just about have enough money in the bank to be buying, but still not the best. Could be a hell of a scary look for them right now, you know? They would have probably reset the big money, maybe some kind of a half buy coming out from Big. Then you're looking at 10-6, bro. That's a very winnable scoreline. However, the game's been brought back super, super close, and Big have more of an opportunity to get back into the action.
That's it. Quiet. It's the mere moment. Mantu's taking damage with the auto. It's like the easiest gun to make work, generally speaking. And this is another conversation that has been had about the economy. On that CT side, there's conversations we had that if you survive with 2 or less, you're worse off. You know, that long-term economy is always going to be a little bit janky because of it. Saving with 3 is actually statistically kind of better for your finances overall than giving it a go and going down to 2, even if you are to pull up the clutch. So definitely be a weird one going in towards the tail end of the year about how CS2 maybe develops in that sense. They're going to try and get out in front of it. Will fall to the MP9. Hybrid will trade, but he falls to the hands of Sin. Sin makes it 2. Make that 3. That is massive. Low on HP, but it does not matter. Sin has done enough, and that'll be that.
Wow. Okie dokie then. Oh, game back on our hands. It looked like the Chosen Few were maybe in a spot when they were in the winning position back in round number 15 that maybe, just maybe, the game would start to swing heavily in their favor. But Big have once again dug deep and found the all-important rounds off the back of some individuals. Great to see the IGL just getting a bit loud, getting a bit giddy. 8-8. No money for Chosen Few. Should be a lead for Big pretty easily. So this is very, very worrying now.
Yeah, this is a little bit shaky. Chosen Few not looking good. Some of these rounds should have been a lot. Well, the last 2 both should have been cleaner. 1v3 never should lose that. Dying 3 of you to 1 man through that smoke. No one flashing through it as well. I don't know. Chosen Few executes are really uncomfortable at the moment. Just getting pulled apart. Big considerably looking like the better team right now. tabseN on the angle. Spots one crossing. Just going to drop an 8. Doesn't need to face.
They're a little unsure. I think Big are kind of nervous. They don't know what sort of a buy is going on. There is, oh, an aggressive move. Should have been a kill for spellAN, but he just could not quite get it. tabseN spins around aggressively to find him. So should be all good from here on in then. The hero AK dealt with. It has been picked back up, but the old aim punch should be a big issue. prosus pushing forwards with the support of tabseN. It's a team kill, baby. Oh, God. That's a little unfortunate. Could have been a flawless round for Big, but I think they'll take that nonetheless.
Well, that'll be that. 9-8. Timeouts to be called here by Big. On the precipice of pushing this one towards its final few moments. It's a very important round once again. Chosen Few, a must convert for them. If they cannot find this round, or at least a bomb plant, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. And even getting towards the sites themselves will be a bit of a struggle. Right now, this game is still all up in the air. Still within 1. Reaching distance for the Chosen Few. It feels like a good position overall. Confidence is looking good for Big. They just have a little bit of that advantage. At least there for the time being. Still a difficult one to call in the grand scheme, but they just look like a little bit more of a well-rounded side at the moment. Round 18 begins after the back of that attack. Mantu in towards the AWP, something that the Chosen Few do not have the luxury of. Could be one of the considerable reasons as to why Sheik himself has been struggling ever so slightly.
Boost coming in again. Sin found success finding this frag a few rounds ago, but he's not going to get aggressive this time. It's actually spellAN that will just walk forwards and take his head clean off. So, round very much up in the air. This has put everything into jeopardy. Krimbo and Mantu are the only ones that are really close enough to do anything at the moment. Nice find from Mantu through the smoke. Krimbo just looking to remain alive at the end of the day, buy some time. Molotov comes down. Oh, the bullets are close. He tries to just stay alive, and it's not going to work. Maybe he should have returned fire. Probably spotted through the gaps in the smoke, you know. 4 versus 2 and a save move for Big.
All tied square. Once again, Chosen Few. Nice round from them. Keeps them alive. At least for the time being. It was really shaky in terms of where things were starting to develop. Big looked like they had all the advantage in their court, in their favor, but no. To be at least for the mere moment. It's a lot more work that needs to be done, but generally speaking, Chosen Few staying alive, especially with some of these rounds being so shaky in the way they have been. I think that's important. That one so cleanly. Only losing the life for spellAN. Not bad. 9-all. Especially on the back of Big's pause too. Maybe another one to be had. What's the call for them to try and claim some favor back into this? Sin can buy in. tabseN will need a drop. Krimbo can invest in. Mantu dropping over to tabseN, I'm assuming. Oh, Sin? I'm assuming that orb gets dropped back over. No, double orb setup. Okay. Double orb's going out for Big. That's pretty interesting considering there's been so many conversations about the orbs being less effective in towards CS2. Let's see if Big can make them work.
Definitely curious, isn't it? I mean, again, we talked about this a few times, but it just is a little testy at the moment, right? Let's see what works. Let's see what doesn't work. Maybe the double orb setup still has that same sort of power. Krimbo, the lovely angle, difficult to beat and unexpected at the end of the day, so they don't go flying around that corner trying to peek into him. Nice pickup to kick us off.
Posted him into good position for him. Waiting for a fight. The Molotov, though, going to force him out of there. So that gives them some good mid control. This is decent. They can now wrap forward into this. Mantu's still going to remain posted. Claims some space. Oh, it's a big swing. Libido will find a kill to level the playing field.
Where to now? 40 seconds left. We're going for a crunch. It looks like we're going for a B crunch. Just a question of timing. They are somewhat savvy to the compromisation of middle and how that will affect the defense here. tabseN with not too bad of an angle, just can't quite get it done. prosus out in dark, also unable to find success. It's Sin that gets that frag behind him, in fact, but yeah, not looking too good here. 3 versus 2. One plant imminent, and the round going the way of the T side. The save has been called.
Chosen few. Nice little mid round there. Big, absolutely the right call in terms of the save here. They're not going to have too much around it, though. And actually, the world in which maybe, I was going to say maybe a bit of a hunt, but actually, is it even really worth it if you're the chosen few? You also want like a hybrid, only 300 left in the back pockets. Maybe not the case. So, yeah, this is now completely flipped in terms of the script. Big around behind. Chosen few first. I'd hit double digits. After their shaky start to this half, a very good response and recovery. That's consecutive rounds in a row now. They're looking really clean with a quick tempo shift. Catching Big off guard. Mantu in the AWP. Unable to hit that very important shot. And again, a question marks about the double orb setup. Orbs are notoriously a little bit more difficult into a CS2. So investing into 2 of them with how much of a struggle building up stability in the economy and how expensive the orb is. But then also going for 2 of them, I don't know. A little bit questionable. These are all things that are going to be kind of ironed out over the next few months, especially going in towards like January, February, where we see the open quals, the RMR, of course, all being on CS2. But yeah, at least for now, we do find ourselves in quite the interesting position. I think for Big, these timeouts have got to be incredibly effective because there's not a lot left in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard now. I think Big have been thrown into a disastrous kind of spot, to be honest with you. They will manage to get drops out, right, and just able to find a buy. But if they lose this one, I think the game is over. And as said, they really don't want to be in this position early on where they're thrusted into the lower bracket. It's, again, difficult to predict, difficult to work with. A couple teams already down there that you maybe not as familiar with, etc., etc. And as we spoke about, Big's position of, out of the frying pan of CSGO and into the fire of CS2 really has been a difficult sort of transition for them. Nice pickup from Krimbo to kick us off. It seems to be a rinse and repeat of the previous round. This time around, though, they're looking to get aggressive into him. Eventually, he goes down, but certainly damage done. Rotations are in pretty quickly. It doesn't look too bad here for the Big side of things.
4 versus 3 for Big on the retake. Very doable. Especially with util so low over towards the chosen few. They essentially have to start taking fights sooner rather than later. In comes a rotation. tabseN going to be the first sign of contact. Easy fight for him. Libido to 4, but shaking on to one of his own. This feels janky as tabseN steps up for yet one more 1 versus 2. Nice swing from Shake. All onto the MP9. Tap. They know he's off it. They know he's not on it. And the MP9 can't convert. The chosen few staying alive. 11-9. 2 rounds ahead. 2 rounds away from remaining in the upper bracket and knocking Big into the lowers.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible stuff, I think. Really, really great to see. Maybe even with the confines of it being a new game and everything, we were maybe expecting Chosen Few to take a map, perhaps. But they have been on the cusp of winning this thing twice now. Right? This is the second time. It's not quite as close, but they were on map point on Vertigo, series point on Vertigo. So you'd hope being in this position twice should be enough for them to work with. If Big are able to come back into it again, then maybe we got some serious problems. But we'll see. They don't have the cash for this round. Krimbo's gone in for an M4. Now, bear in mind, these days, much more conscious decision as you can refund your weaponry. So they know what's up. They will have seen him buy. And there isn't a situation where you go, oh, man, why have you bought, right? You can just refund it if it was a reflex, let's say. So it is a very conscious decision here from Big to go in for this M4. And it dies instantly. Okay. So that is very much unfortunate. All the kills going the way of the T side right now. 12 on the horizon. Looks good.
Yeah, that one's got a sting, dude. Like... You've gone for, like you said, that conscious decision. Like, this is going to have a long-term effect. Well, I say long-term. It could have a negative effect towards my economy in the round after this, and there's not really too much left in this game. And it dies instantly, no effect. That leaves a P250 and a Deagle. That's all they've got to work with. Man, this is rough. 11-9. Hybrid. Tested. He will fall. Oh, I'm going to take it. They're making this at least somewhat expensive. Shake going to go in for the trade there. They spotted both, so they can just run all the way over towards A if they want.
Bomb going down. Easy secure of the round here, of course. Mantu may well get to hold on to his AK, I think. They're not really too fussed about chasing after him, so maybe that changes as they feel more confident with the bomb plant, but the only one that's really away from the site is Spellan. I don't think they're going to meet here, so it will just be that wind down of the round. However, as said, it all came together when Skrimo just found that opening double, right? Drops the scariest gun of the entire round and makes sure there is absolutely no hope in hell that the boys from Big have a chance at the weird little half-buy, force-buy thing they were going for. And you can kind of see Krimbo, he actually gets lucky because Mantu saved this AK. There is a drop on the cards. And indeed, Krimbo will have a nice weapon in this round, but if there was no save, he would have had a nasty one, an MP9 or maybe even a FAMAS. I've heard the FAMAS is a bit better in CS2, though.
I like it. It feels alright.
Okay.
It feels. I wasn't a huge fan in Go, but
no,
it feels a lot better. Then again, the Galil feels even better. So I guess it kind of evens out in that sense. It's still kind of the same disparity between the two. 12-9. We've seen Big do it once before from this situation. They're called upon again. Some sort of a masterclass to remain alive on the CT side. Which honestly, so far, only 3 rounds, just simply has not been enough. Mantu, a little bit of flame damage, forced away.
Sin still sticking around. They want to fight him. They want to fight him. They're definitely shaping up to maybe flash a player in here. Sin just constantly on his toes, constantly moving. Spellan creeping round. Or takes out Mantu. Missed orb shot. Sin's not really in position to trade. This is difficult now, of course. You want to try and make a move. Spellan knows that. This is so close. USP is out. Sin is so panicked and just allows Spellan to reset. If he fully sent it around the corner, it could have been in with a decent chance. Prosus gets caught over on B. for some reason, the B bomb site completely open, to be honest. I figured, you know, they wouldn't have abandoned it that readily, but they looked to bolster up mid, I guess. A miscalculation from Big and a game series costing calculation, to be honest.
Oh, Krimbo going to find one, but tabseN still remains behind that smoke. Still, 4 more frags to be found. The Molotov, tabseN's in trouble. tabseN's dead. 1 man left alone. We said Krimbo's good in the clutch, but this one just has no chance. All the nades, all the U's are being dropped onto that one position. He'll find kills. They will amount to absolutely nothing because he will not have time for a defuse. That'll be that. The chosen few take down Big and upset on the cards. But honestly, one we predicted coming into this game. How much time have Big had on towards CS2? I think probably showing maybe not enough. They looked a little bit janky, a little bit uncomfortable at times. The chosen few, they had time in the server on CS2 pay.